What's up guys, LeopoldTheBrave here, introducing my new series, Versus Battle Cards. The Versus show without the show. It's just Versus. Okay, let me explain. It is an actual show, don't worry. So Versus Battle Cards is a sequel series to UniVS, a Versus show that I started 5 years ago and stopped 3 years ago. It ran for 50 whole episodes. And UniVS itself was a sequel series to the Versus show I made before that, Fictional Fights. So let's go through the timeline real quick. First up is Fictional Fights, a Versus show that was very much a Death Battle clone. It had 2 hosts, animations whenever I was able to do them or someone volunteered to do one, and it was about as generic and basic as a Death Battle clone could get. But for some reason everyone really liked one of the co-hosts named Vic, even though he has one of the most annoying voices ever. Why do you like this character, people? Ha ha! Anyways, that lasted for about 19 episodes until I pretty much realized that I just can't keep up with this, maybe I'll have an animation, maybe I won't, and decided to cancel the show. So, next up I made UniVS, a Versus show with 0 animations in mind from the get-go, instead being replaced with viewer predictions and comments. And there were no hosts, it was just me talking. Overall it was a ton of fun. But eventually it did get stale, it was just Death Battle without the animation. You see, Death Battle's format works so well because it's a show that has suspense. The analysis builds up hype to the fight scene. However, when you have no fight scene, you have no suspense, and that analysis portion beforehand pretty much becomes pointless. However, with most UniVS episodes, you could pretty much just skip right to the end results segment and get just as much out of the episode as you would watching the entire thing. So, instead of just replacing animations with a prediction segment, Versus Battle Cards is going to use a brand new format. It's not going to do the whole character analysis and hype build-up thing. That's what Versus Character Cards is for. Versus Battle Cards instead is actually going to assume you already know the character it's talking about, bringing in only the stuff that's relevant to the matchup as we analyze both characters at the same time by category. Arsenal and special attacks, feats of speed, feats of strength and durability, and some miscellaneous stuff like experience, intelligence, and attributes like immunity to fire if a character has that. Basically, this show has no suspense, so it's not going to try to build things up or act like it does. It's just going to be Versus at its core. It's all about the matchup itself and finding out who wins. You're pretty much supposed to realize who the winner's going to be before the episode even announces it, without needing a huge explanation why afterwards. I know this format is very different. New and different things, scary. But don't worry, I promise it's going to be lots of fun. Plus, it is still a sequel series to UniVS and is gonna bring some elements from that show into it, like the viewer participation, for example. I want your predictions and your comments telling me who you think is going to win each episode, and they will be displayed and shown off in each episode between each segment. To have your video predictions featured, simply upload them to YouTube and I'll find them. Just make sure they have Versus Battle Cards or the matchup name in the title so they actually show up when I go looking for them. And also, this time around, shorter prediction videos are preferred, rather than longer ones. These predictions will be shown as transitions in between segments, rather than filler for a missing fight scene. So you don't need to worry about dragging things out if you don't know everything about a character. And even after uploading them, if you just want to be sure you get an episode, you can always place your predictions in my Discord server linked in the description below. Same goes for comment predictions. You can either leave those on my Discord server or in the comment section of the video where the next matchup is announced. And that includes this video because I will be announcing the first matchup at the end. Now, on the topic of matchups, I absolutely will not be taking any matchup requests for this show. In case the few of you who do this didn't know, your comments that consist of nothing but a gigantic paragraph of matchup requests like obscure Ben 10 alien versus a Power Ranger, nobody likes those comments. They can drive a Versus debater nuts, not just me. If I see those kinds of comments, I will shut them down. I know I'm being grumpy, but the Versus community can be really unfun sometimes, so if I'm gonna come back to it, I want to do it in a way that I'll enjoy. Besides, I did always used to get compliments about how fun and weirdly unique my matchups were, and that definitely won't be stopping here. I already have a folder with 70 different matchup ideas. That's more than UniVS and Fictional Fights combined. These matchups include, but are not limited to, ones I want to see Death Battle do, ones I've already done myself but want to update the outcome on or change it if it was initially incorrect, the return of the Disney duels, fights that literally only I will ever care about, joke matchups, matchups that aren't joke matchups but are still really weird, just some genuinely really neat ideas that I haven't seen anyone else come up with, and more. Now to start off, we're not gonna go completely crazy. let's begin with a matchup that would be pretty expected of me, just to sort of ease us into this new show. But to make up for that, the one afterwards will be completely absurd. So be sure to leave your predictions in the comment section below, or make a video, and get ready for our first episode with the tongue-slinging, gibberish-speaking artificial mutant creatures, Crash Bandicoot vs. Stitch.